Hey you guys, it is that time. Pick a story wherein one of these decks or all of the decks could be a story or a message for you. So what I like to do is to hold up each deck to the camera to see if it is resonating with you. So starting with deck number one, because your story or message be here in deck number one. All right. As usual, no need to overthink it. Could your story and message be here in deck number two? All right. Or could your story be here in deck number three? Story and message here. Okay, so I hope you guys have made your selections. We're going to go ahead and begin with deck number one. We have the Page of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Wands, King of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Central issue, Strength, Justice, and the Ace of Coins. Okay, so central issue here is that I feel like some of you are really resilient right now. I feel like for some of you, this is indicating, for whatever reason, a strong immune system. And I don't know if something's going on where you are having to be the strength or the pillar for other people. I feel like there is also some sort of act of courage taking place. I'm getting like warrior energy. Some of you are maybe having to stand firm towards justice. So I don't know what could be happening. Maybe some of you are dealing with some sort of legalities, or with making fair decisions or being some sort of mediator. But some of you, I feel like you need the courage to confront the truth. Or it takes courage to do the right thing. So something could be going on where you know a secret and you have an opportunity to either be a whistleblower or shed some light on something or do the right thing. I also feel like maybe there is some sort of potential offer for you. It's like maybe getting paid to say or do something, but it takes a lot of strength to do the right thing. So I feel like some of you may be dealing with, I guess, a human issue or a question of morale, a question of ethics. Like things of that sort are kind of coming out to me. Maybe you work for the justice system. Maybe you work as some sort of law enforcer. I feel that there's a gathering of nations coming together to make some sort of important decision, and especially if this is something about a payout. Now, if some of these messages are kind of coming off globally, but if you can try to still pull it into your personal situation. I'm still going to, pull out information from both, but it does kind of seem like something globally could be happening behind the scenes. So there could also be some decisions about the payout. And I know maybe if you guys are on social media and keeping updated, some people are trying to, I think, is it Nancy Pelosi? She's trying to put a stop or a block to this, this, what do you call it, fund? Stimulus fund. So it might be something about meeting up and maybe having to take a stand towards people who are trying to block that. Now, I do see verbal wars going on. I see a verbal war. I see some sort of arguments, people having to stand guard, people having to go head to head with their enemies. This can be uncomfortable situations. Maybe there's some sort of frustrations at home, in a workplace, or anywhere, whatever this is. In a relationship, there's some sort of communication problems. I feel that people keep doing and saying immature or petty things or starting petty arguments. Someone needs to learn how to talk. Someone needs to learn how to grow up. I feel that whatever you're dealing with in a relationship is being reflected back to you. Like if someone is being distant towards you, it's like you are being distant towards them, but I feel like the distance is coming from a place from deep within. There's something going on. There's something going on within your inner peace, excuse me, that needs to be healed or balanced. This also is indicating that something is imbalanced right now. You may need to put your own ego in check. Maybe people are going to try to attack you or put your ego in check for you, but you take that power and put yourself in check. I feel like there's a need for you to really look in the mirror and argue with yourself. Like I really feel like you need to argue with yourself. Stop arguing with these other people because they're just, what do you call it? They're just versions of you. They're just many versions of you. And I know sometimes my talks can get a little metaphysical, but hopefully you guys are able to understand that and apply it where it needs. Romantically, you could be dealing with a Leo, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, maybe Taurus. But I see something like verbal attacks or verbal abuse. Now, I mean, if you're a stay-at-home, of course, most people, some people still have to go to work, but most people are at home right now. So I don't know if this is something new for you. And there could be like a lot of bickering with, especially with the children and having to be a mediator and putting people in timeout and all of that stuff. So yeah, it could be about that. Politically, I'm seeing stuff about people needing to take a stand, especially in regards to people's rights or what you believe in, or if there, like I said, there's something that you know that information needs to be shared. I feel like people will try to also stop you from spreading some sort of news or information, or it's like when you try to put out the truth, you might end up getting attacked or being accused of giving out false information. And then also on the flip side, I do feel that you should look out for any type of false information or do some sort of fact checking. Now, love related, people's pride and ego are in the way. I feel like there's issues dealing with divorce and people, maybe some sort of legalities or getting child custody, like things look like they could be getting nasty in court. There could definitely be an argument in court. So if you can, try to hold your tongue or your temper, because the judge is judging you and your character, or the judge is judging someone's character. And especially I'm seeing someone being provoked to act out of character. So I feel like some of you are going to be provoked. I also feel that something does not turn out in your favor. This looks like, health-wise, it does look like an illness. So make sure that you are boosting your immune system, because this can indicate that you're not feeling so well. Now, this could be a physical illness, but because we also have a lot of swords out, it might just be mental illness. So going through some sort of anxiety attacks and things of that sort. And then emotionally, although I'm not really even getting any emotion, and maybe that is what is imbalanced, is that there's earth, fire, and air out, but no water, no emotion, no feelings in your life right now. You're having to cut your feelings off, having to be distant and cold towards people. And even with the whole social distancing, I know many of you might not quite get what I'm saying at that, but if you keep noticing how they keep saying that word, I feel like that is repetitious, because it's a program. Social distancing. And honestly, just in a nutshell, to make it short and apply it to a love-related situation, I do feel that dark forces are trying to attack, like people are under attack by dark forces, trying to keep people separated from their divine counterparts. I don't care if it's a twin flame, a soulmate, or whatever label that you want to give it. I feel like something's going on that is trying to prevent these energies from coming together. So you are going to have to rely on yourself a lot for self-love, or sending unconditional love if your soulmate so happens to be at a distance. I just kind of feel like you're going to be, now you're being forced to do some sort of inner work. I will go on and say too that if you are meant to be with your soulmate, there's nothing that can stop that, regardless of what is happening right now. So just trust and believe that. I talk a lot about having faith, because I feel like that is part of, like, hope and faith are part of this universe's survival pack. It's like you need it. It might happen, it might not happen, but faith keeps you going. You know, and it's like if you didn't have any type of faith or hope, and just constantly in a state of hopelessness, it's like, how can you make it? You know, how can you make it? So you have to strengthen your soul by any means necessary. You find yourself stuck in a state of depression or rejection, snap out of it. Find a way to bring yourself out of it. I'm going to give you guys like a brief demonstration of what I learned through watching EFT tapping, and maybe I'll do a separate video from it, because I know I give advice, but you guys, you know, still want to see me or insist on me showing you or telling you these things. But it's something that's called EFT tapping. And the reason why I recommend it is because I do feel like it helped me in the past. And it is something that I feel like I need to get back into as of late as well. But you're supposed to be tapping on certain areas of your body, and I guess it activates something. I'm no professional. That's why I'm saying go Google it, because all I'm going to show you is like a little bit of how it goes. But it's supposed to help clear and remove certain blockages from your life that are coming from within, that's being emitted from within, and it's coming out. And it's like you're living in this cycle. So Whatever term or phrase that you are wanting to clear, or whatever it is that you want to help, it can be about generating happiness, or money, or whatever it is. But I just, to keep it short, say something like, I remove all blockages from my life. Anything that is blocking me from my happiness, I remove that. So just kind of figure out your own little mantra, and you can just say those same phrases over again. I remove these blockages, or whatever. And you start by tapping here on this area, just lightly with these two fingers. And you take it and then you tap like the top of your forehead while continuing to say it. Then you move down to, I believe, the side corner of your brow right here. And then I believe you do it like under the eye, right under your eye. I think right between your nose and your lip. While saying the same thing, yes, you keep repeating it. The next spot would be your throat. I usually end up doing this part for a long time for some reason. It just feels the most comfortable out of all the areas. I think maybe because it is a throat chakra blockage, but you repeat the mantra here. And then you do like a few taps under your arm. You raise your arm and do a few taps under there, and you can start back. You can do it as many times as you want to until you feel like, okay, whew, woosah, So that is something that's called EFT tapping, and, you just kind of do that, and it does seem to work, but you do it kind of like on a regular basis, like you do meditation, until you feel better. I feel like if your energy feels clear, there's no need for you to keep indulging in something. And I wish I had someone talked about that one time, about how you don't have to meditate every day or all the time. Because the meditation itself, I think it's something about is for healing, or that's what it's for. So whatever the case, hopefully you guys, learn things your own way. I'm only giving like suggestions and talking about things from my personal experience. Now, getting back to this though, it looks as if someone, you might miss talking to someone, and you might feel or start to lose hope. You might, especially if you're interested in a fire sign, or if you are a fire sign, like either you are starting to lose hope about your fire sign, or you, the fire sign, are starting to lose hope about someone. At some point, and then too, I feel like someone, this is someone who isn't really speaking up and talking about what they're feeling. Someone is kind of wanting you to figure it out for themselves, because, this person is right near the place that can help or assist with shelter or food or money, but this person is refusing to go inside or ask. So I think what it is that the door is open for some of you. Some of you are like, I welcome someone with open arms, or my home is always welcome, or I'm always a lending ear. It's just up to you to make that call or to knock on that door. But, your ego is in the way. Your pride is in the way. Both Leo and the number 5, that deals with pride and ego. So that is something that you probably also need to release. This can be you also maybe being too strong in a sense, and know when to have balance, know when to let your guards down, know which battles to fight. So choose your battles. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to stay angry. You don't need to prove a point. But I feel like that's something that's happening right now. I feel like people are trying to prove points, and it's just like, where does that get you? You try to prove a point so bad to the point that you hurt yourself. And now it made me think of a scene from a comedy movie. The Bridesmaids? Is it The Bridesmaids with Kristen Wiig and all the comedic ladies? And there's this scene in there where they got sick from eating at a restaurant, and they're at the bridal fitting, and the two brides were, or bridesmaids, I guess, they were competing with each other. So the one that suggested the restaurant that got everybody sick, she had so much pride, she did not want to admit that she was feeling sick either, although everybody else had started falling sick. She had so much pride that she's basically like about to throw up on herself, talking about, no, I feel fine. You know, she's like sweating and, you know, so this is someone who has so much pride to prove a point that they don't want to give in, that it does nothing to either side. Like both people just end up hurting. So I think that's also something that's going on now. Let me go ahead and look a little more into a couple of these cards here. I'm going to look at the Page of Swords. And I got the name Adam for somebody. That might also just be symbolic for the first man or the alpha male. Okay, so it's clarified by more court cards, which makes me feel like this is definitely just kind of indicating that there's someone that's very influential around you right now, or someone who is strongly affecting your life at the moment. I don't care if it's romantic or not, or business related. It's just someone around you that's, you know, they're in your life right now and it's affecting it. So they could be any sign. I've got it being clarified by the Knight of Pentacles as well as the Page of Wands. So that could be earth or fire. Matter of fact, it could be someone playing multiple roles or multiple personalities because the Magician is out. So someone might be pulling out a lot of tricks. Someone might be causing a lot of confusion or deflecting the truth, or deflecting the attention away from them, or deflecting from whatever it is that is happening. It's like needing to have a direct one-on-one conversation, but someone just keeps deflecting or changing the subject or turning the blame back on the other person. So that is another form of course, manipulation. So someone might be very good at that, you know, very good at deflecting and manipulating. And you're being challenged with that right now. Or this could be your energy. This could very well be your energy. Someone is definitely hiding behind a mask, hiding behind their work. If someone is trying to pursue you romantically, they're going about it the wrong way. Someone is also acting out of hurt. They're coming from a place of hurt, speaking from a place of hurt. Someone may regret not expressing something when they had the chance, or someone just misses the last conversations that they had, and they're thinking about the things that were said. I just feel like someone really needs to let go of some sort of control or power issues. And I also feel like something about a song being played. I don't know if someone is trying to send you a song or if you've been sending someone a song. Let me look at the Five of Pentacles. Someone does have a lot of shame. Someone is ashamed of something. They're like, I don't want to face you. Don't look at me. Or I don't want you to see me this way. I feel like maybe someone is regretting that they didn't fight. They didn't fight back. They didn't speak up. Some of you, you might have the opportunity to tell the truth about something. And it looks like you might miss that opportunity and feeling like something's too late. You know what? And it could be a situation where, let's say you were in a long distance relationship, but you had a fallout with your love interest before this whole virus scare, and now everyone's quarantined. So now there's some sort of regrets, maybe like, oh, I should have took the opportunity to go see them, or I should have did this and that when I had the chance, but now I'm so far away. Because I'm getting distance is why I'm saying that. It also could be like someone feels regrets that they didn't take some sort of job opportunity when it was handed to them, because I don't know, maybe that job opportunity would have allowed you to work from home or to travel. I don't know. And now you're in some sort of weird predicament where you need help or assistance and you're not asking for it. So yeah. Those are basically all the messages that I'm getting for you guys that chose deck number 1. So let's go ahead and move on to deck number 2. So we have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the Hierophant. We have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords, the Wheel, central issue, the Hermit, 9 of Cups, and the Moon. All right, so central issue, it looks as if you guys have had a lot of time to think because you've been in hermit mode. You've been doing your inner work, you've been doing your research, and you've been becoming enlightened. I also feel that whatever you learn, like some sort of energy, you're attracting like energy, or you're attracting people who have gone through similar things as you. So you guys are kind of like in the same predicament. I also feel like you're being led. Something is leading you on this journey. Your spirit guides. You're learning how to use your inner voice. And the thing is that some of you are empaths. Some of you may have gone through a lot of emotional purging and have already been reflecting on your past traumas and any type of abandonment issues or trust issues. I just feel that you went through the dark night of the soul and then you floated away, or you made it out safely. So you went through some sort of terrible emotional turmoil, but you made it out all right. And I feel like it looks like you've been alone on your journey. And it even looks like you're still searching, but you're being led by this inner light. Now, I was seeing something about spirit animals. So some of you may see some sort of increase of spirit animals. I personally have had a couple of strange occurrences with the pigeons around here. I mean, we always get them. And for a while, some of them were nested up by my windowsill, but I guess they moved their nests. But one day, one flew right on this window, which they never do, and it just sat there. And one time the other day when I was in the shower and I was thinking about something, and it just came and landed on the windowsill by the shower, and they never do that either. I've never seen them land in those spots. But I thought that was interesting. So some of you might be seeing spirit animals, whether it is any type of flying birds or insects or dogs or something that's on all fours, and even maybe fish, crabs, even literal crab. Matter of fact, I see it in both pictures. Now, this is also saying to me that someone hides their emotions. Someone is very sensitive on the inside and would just fall to pieces if that shell is cracked. So some of you have been keeping yourself isolated as a way of protection and not wanting to be vulnerable. And it looks like you've had so many tower moments here as well, by you exposing yourself or by your insecurities being exposed. Or maybe things happen that helped you to reveal these insecurities so that you could become vulnerable. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of you have done some sort of inner work, and you've definitely had to repeat certain lessons here because you weren't understanding something. It's something that you were not understanding. And I always say that you never truly understand a lesson until it's over, and not necessarily like immediately after it's over, but just like after you've done some healing and you've moved on, and have time to reflect. It's like, I think I understand what that lesson is now. I think I finally get it. So I feel like some of you have been repeating some sort of pattern, and you've been wanting to break this cycle. And the only way to break this cycle is to go within here. I'm also seeing you maybe having to face or make some sort of difficult decision pretty soon, or it seems like whatever decision that you do need to make is taking you a very long time to make it. I do see someone who keeps changing their mind, or something keeps fluctuating. Romantically, this can definitely be a situation where it's on and off. 1 minute you're together, 1 minute you're not. 1 minute you say you want a relationship, the next minute you don't. I don't want to say that you're necessarily sending mixed signals out to the universe, but you are sending mixed signals to yourself. And I feel like you just need to be honest with yourself, because some of you are also struggling with what the masses say, what society says is the right thing to do. And you're trying to make these laws apply to you, and you might be someone that is on a completely different path where you make your own rules and those laws don't apply to you, which is why you're struggling. You're struggling because you're trying to follow someone else's rules or laws or structure when it's not for you. It's meant for you to create your own rules and regulations, to live in your own bubble. It is up to you, for at least for the time being. And I feel like that is also something that has been stagnating you. And I feel like people are watching to see what you're going to do next. People are waiting for you to slip up. Like, some people are really trying to learn through you, or to live vicariously through you. And others are waiting for you to fail. You can't entertain these people. You have to just be authentic. Like, that's the secret. That's the key. That's the key here, is to live authentically, be yourself. This innocence here just makes me feel like you need to be true to you. I also feel like whatever lessons that you've been learning, like, is being stored in your own personal data bank, because one day people are going to be coming to you for advice. People are going to want to know how to do things. People are going to want you to make their decisions for them, but you are needing to teach these people that they have to make the decisions for themselves. You don't want to take people's freedoms away. But we might have something like that too on a national level, something about dictatorship or people wanting to make decisions for you. People like that, it's like, well, I'm not going to get into that, but you know, some people do like to be told what to do. Some people like, some people don't want to figure out their own problems. And, you know, I guess that's okay. That's them. But if that's you, you can't be like them. You have to be like you. Now, something else that I was saying here about, or some sort of messages that I was getting about you being concerned about what society says. Either way, I see you needing to continue to focus on being independent. Now, financially, this does look like some sort of financial struggle. Maybe you've been having some sort of worry or anxiety about your finances. I feel like this is an indication that after some sort of initial struggle, things are going to stabilize for you and your finances will be secured. I do see you being independent and learning how to work independently, especially if you were used to a big company and structure. There's something happening where now maybe you're learning how to focus on you, especially those of you that kept procrastinating and putting off starting your own business. Now you kind of have to. Now there's no choice but for you to do that. Now, some of you will be going down the rabbit hole. I'm definitely seeing something about a rabbit hole and you digging for information, and I feel like you're not going to be able to stop because you are being led here. Definitely makes me think of the white rabbit in the Matrix. This is a time for critical thinking. This is a time for reflecting. This is a time for trusting your intuition. So this makes me think of that scene in a Matrix when, you know, you might start receiving some sort of clues from the universe or from your spirit guides about what steps to take next. There's a need for you to focus on your health and your confidence. If your health starts off a little shaky or unstable, I see you boosting your immunity or you becoming healthy. So you might make some sort of adjustments to your diet. Or if your weight has been fluctuating, like me, I'm supposed to be on keto, but now that everybody's snatching everything out the stores, like my keto products have gone. And I don't know how long there's going to be a restock. So I'm going to have to start incorporating like rice again, stuff I'm not supposed to eat, and regular pasta. So you could be having like some sort of fluctuations in your diet. Or even if you're like vegan and there's certain vegan items that you purchase or buy, and it's like a scarcity now and you're struggling trying to find it, so you're having to make some sort of adjustments in your health. I do see some of you taking your vitamins, and like I said, to me this looks like both of these look like healthy cards. I also feel like in a situation where if you are waiting for some sort of test results, that you're going to be told that you're healthy or that something is treatable or curable. I feel too in a love situation that you're being admired. There's someone who admires you for your independence, or you come off as a very strong and independent person. Your person of interest could be strict or very conservative though, or very old-fashioned, very, very slow moving. So definitely like earth energy. Could be a Virgo, Taurus, or maybe Capricorn, but especially Virgo or Taurus. Also could be dealing with an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or a Pisces. I see a change or a shift. Like whatever this ongoing cycle is, I feel like it's coming to an end. Also, even if you've been single for a long time, it's like that's a cycle itself. Think of it like you being in that cosmic egg here. There's a cosmic egg. Matter of fact, there's a story about the cosmic egg. It's a really good story. I don't know if you guys have ever read it, but it's all over the internet. You can find it. But it just kind of, and then like the world card, just think of it as you can only stay pregnant for a term of 9 months. That's and it's like 3 different trimesters. So I feel like you've been going through like these phases and these cycles of self-reflection and doing all this inner work. And with the wheel here is indicating a closure or a closing of that cycle. So some of you might be coming to an end and getting ready to be ushered into a new phase in your life or a new cycle, which may or may not include love or relationship, but it is possible that that is a phase that's closing as you being single. This also could be like the new age where now you're having, like I said, you're starting your own business. This is a new life for you, a new beginning. I also feel that there's something happening in the sky where I always talk about how certain planetary transits can, either assist you or work against you. But it looks like something starts off difficult and then things start running smoothly. And so there may be some sort of significant changes. I think the next big planetary change will be Mars going into where is Mars going into? Aquarius? Yeah, which is pretty soon. I think on the 29th. I think that's next Monday. But whatever the case, you might find something significant that happens once that change that moves into Aquarius. That might make something that was stagnant and start having movement or motion. Yeah, so let me go ahead and just start clarifying a few things for you guys. Let me look at this Two of Pentacles. I do see an initiation or a promotion of some sort. Something was between you and another candidate or you and another person. And I feel like someone's getting ready to make a decision, or the truth is going to be revealed. Like someone is going to be like, I've come to this conclusion. So I feel like there's going to be something revealed or announced. There's going to be a lot of weird weather changes. Someone has been debating maybe between you and a water sign, or you and a water sign. I'm sorry, you as the water sign has been debating. Someone's also been struggling with expressing how they feel. That's not easy for them. Someone has mommy issues. If you're a loner, I feel that there may be a friend or two that keeps trying to get you to come out or to do things, or you keep getting invited to stuff and you've been telling them okay and then changing your mind. Especially if you're an introvert, something's been going on where you they've just been trying to get you to do something, try something, or to come out, Or someone might be trying to play matchmaker, trying their best to introduce you to someone, and you've been saying, okay, I'm going to do it, and then changing your mind or putting it off. Some of you need more clarity. You're like, I'm just not sure yet. I need more proof. I need more facts. Someone needs more of something, more information. This is really when you get to overthinking things. I think, too, somebody's asking the wrong questions over and over again. So especially if you do tarot, especially if you're reading your own tarot cards, you're asking the same question, you're either wording it wrong, you need to rephrase your question, or you're asking the wrong questions. Say for instance, you're asking, what's my life going to be like once I get this new job? Did you apply for that new job? Did you even do that? So it's like you're jumping a gun, and it's just like you can't ask that question without even applying to the job. I would even prefer, as a tarot reader, that you said you waited until you got that new job, and then you made your intentions to, relocate. You already started looking at the place that you were going to move to, whatever the case, before asking certain questions like that. So whatever it is, I feel like you're asking yourself the wrong questions if you're a tarot reader. Reading your own cards. Now, if you're a reader too, I bet that you are going to get a lot of people asking the wrong questions. So people may need to rephrase their questions, or at least make some sort of change in their life before they continue asking the same questions. I see someone also being in denial of their feelings. And I also feel that if someone new is trying to enter your life, that you're not interested because emotionally you are still holding on to someone else. There's someone else that you'd rather hear from. Everyone else bores you. Everyone else is just not interesting. Let me look at the wheel. So the wheel is about some sort of new opportunity being offered to you, or sometimes I see this as some sort of stargate or portal opening where I feel like someone's blowing out a candle and making some sort of wish. So it seems like something is going to be a wish fulfillment. Something manifests, and I feel like you're going to be inspired. Something ignites your inner flame. And I feel like this motivation or this renewal is going to help carry you through this next cycle that you're entering. Or it's going to help you pursue your goals, your dreams, your passions, whatever it is that you've been putting off or thinking about or been struggling with. Yeah, I feel like the wheel also indicates the end of some sort of mind games and someone approaching something new, or with a new game plan, or they're changing it up. So also, it's just like the saying where someone keeps doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, which indicates insanity. So I feel like maybe you come to some sort of realization and realize that you've been acting insane, or maybe if this is about someone else around you, maybe they come to that realization that they've been acting insane. But either way, I see like a switch. I see a flick. You know what? I don't know why that trend is going on. And I'll be listening to a Shira Star Goddess. I meant to ask her, like, what is the trend? What is that? What's being initiated with that the other Drake challenge where everyone's switching places? Like, I know that means something. So I don't know, maybe that's a need for you to look into that analogy as well, or maybe there's some sort of hidden message within that. Matter of fact, it is time for you to start decoding certain things, and that's going to enhance and expand your knowledge, spiritually especially. So yeah, there's some sort of coded language that has been right in front of your face, and I feel like you're going to figure it out. And you're not going to like knowing that you've been lied to or manipulated. All right, so those are the messages for deck number 2. Let me look at deck number 3. We have the Lovers, Judgment, 3 of Coins, 8 of Coins, the Devil, Central Issue, 6 of Cups, Death, 2 of Cups. All right. So I feel like a relationship ended in the past or is currently under construction, has gone through a deep transformative phase. Maybe something started off really shallow, really, you know, just first impressions. Oh, he's cute, she's cute, and evolved into something much deeper. Someone in the past, I feel like, changed your life forever. Like, nothing's ever going to be the same. Even looking at these twin towers in this deck and how the twin towers crumbled in front of the eyes of everyone, changing everyone's lives forever, that moment. And I don't know too if you guys have been seeing 9/11 numbers being repeated. I know for a while I was seeing that number repetitiously, and I still see it occasionally, but I don't know if that's something that you guys have been seeing. That could also be 2 different life path numbers. Someone's a 9 and somebody's an 11. That's actually my number and the person who I viewed as my twin's number. So that may have happened where, you know, paths collided and crumbled and changed you forever. Now something is returning. Something's coming back from the dead. I feel like there's a resurrection going on. You should be hearing from someone from your past. And I feel like I always need to reiterate, well, depending on the cards that are out. And depending on the cards that are out, I'm not getting is someone that you would be opposed to hearing from. This would be something that is enjoyable because we go from 6 of Cups, hey, remember me, oh my God, I love you, I missed you so much type energy. So I feel that this is someone that you would definitely want to connect to or hear from. I see this as actually a couple of different ways, but I'm gonna keep going, you know, explaining what I see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 relationships. It could be 4 separate relationships, or it could be someone who embodies all of these traits. Someone who comes off as new love, that makes you feel like the time you first fell in love, the person who gives you butterflies. It could be the person that feels like your best friend, something that starts off platonic and then just grows and evolves. It could be that person that is your mirror image. That person you have that telepathic connection to, feels like twin energy. And it could be someone who's very addictive, someone who the attraction is so intense that you guys become very codependent on each other, don't want to break apart once you come around this person's energy. So I don't know. It could be, like I said, dealing with 4 different connections, relationships, love interests, whatever you want to call it, or it's that one person that embodies all of this. Now, if you do not know this person from this life, from your past, from childhood, from high school, then your souls recognize each other. It doesn't matter because you've been through many lifetimes together. And it's funny because I often think this, there is somebody that I think about and I feel like we died together in a previous life. And it's funny because it looks like this is a couple that died together in a previous life. But here's their return. They came back into the same lifetime. The only thing is that there may be an age difference. But it's like, hey, I had to take that opportunity. I knew you were going to be here this lifetime. And, I couldn't come into this lifetime until, 5, 10, 8 years later. But here I am, and now we're together. So that's close enough for us to get together. So there may be some sort of big age gap from your soulmate, with your soulmate from a previous life. But it's like you guys found each other. This is something about your energies are being drawn towards one another. And whatever past issues that you suppressed or you tried to bury or ignore, like these issues are going to resurface. Somebody also may remind you of your twin flame or a past lover or whatever title you want to give it. I try not to get into the whole twin flame titles so much, although I believe in it. For those of you, every time I say something, somebody want to put their little comment. Twin flames do exist. Did I say they didn't? I got me a twin flame. I just don't like talking about it like that anymore. I don't like to label it if I can help it. But I know people are still familiar with that term or that energy. Or I feel like anybody who is your DM or DF, like it's anyone that is in your life to enlighten you and bring you to your higher self, help you understand yourself more. Now, yes, you can. I don't want to say that because that's what everybody says. I know I'm not trying to enforce that you have to have a companion for this to happen. That's why it doesn't have to always be a romantic relationship. It can be a friend that changes your life forever. It can be a family member that changes your life forever. It doesn't matter whoever this person is coming into your life. For most of you, it's romantic though. But whoever this person is that's getting ready to enter your life is to awaken that higher energy, that higher love. They're going to be a reflection of all that is good within you. They're going to be a reflection of that unconditional type love. They're here to help you become closer with yourself. And especially if you feel like because you've done so much inner work, I feel like this is also having, like getting or receiving a reward. I definitely feel like there's a lot of passion. Someone is going to probably ask to get married for some of you. Or there's some sort of wedding announcement. Something else I was getting from here. I feel like there's a need to learn trust. Someone wants you to trust them, like you guys are learning to lean on each other. But I feel like you guys are just wanting to be so close to each other that you just want to meld or merge into each other. I definitely see some sort of awakening here. And then I'm looking at the trumpet on her throat and a chain. So I feel like someone has been choked or blocked And I feel like now there's going to be an awakening or something, the block will be removed. I feel like someone is now ready to make some sort of judgment. So also, if something was out for judgment, just like a court case, and they're just like everybody has to go and the jury has to make their decision, I feel like the jury is in, or the jury has reached a verdict. And now there's getting ready to be a reveal or an answer about what is supposed to do. I mean, what you're supposed to do, or what the next step is going to be. So there definitely looks like cooperation here, or some sort of compromise. And there was also a need to complete what was unfinished. There was some sort of unfinished business that you've had with someone, or maybe just even with yourself. Someone comes into your life, or you hear something, there's going to be some sort of communication where you suddenly feel uplifted or inspired, like your faith is restored, and you're like, I got to finish this project. I can't put this on a back burner anymore. I've got to complete this. So to me, and I talked about it in one of the earlier readings, if you think about a pregnancy, to me, this looks like like some sort of trimester being completed here. You know, the first trimester, that's within those 3 months. And so I feel like now something is being stabilized, or foundation is being laid out. Whatever was broken is being repaired. Some of you are meant to go into business for yourselves, or you're supposed to go into business with a soulmate, or whatever label you want to give that person. You're supposed to go into business with each other. That could also be your whole purpose, or maybe you're just now coming into that realization of why you guys need each other. Yes, because you both have something to offer. Now, the only thing is, yes, it does look like something could become codependent, like too clingy, and then you start feeling like you can't function without the other person. That's unhealthy thinking. That's unhealthy love. And you have to make sure that when you realize that, uh-oh, I think we're in that sunken place, you have to bring each other out. So as long as the both people are willing to put effort in, it's like you can keep the relationship healthy, or keep repairing it anytime it breaks down. But you have to make sure that that foundation is strong. And this also indicates to me too that something crumbled, something fell apart and had to be restored or rebuilt. So maybe when you first met, the foundation was too weak, or something was going on, but now I feel like it's time to strengthen that foundation. It's time to build and grow things. So I'm seeing seeds being planted, and I feel like there's definitely a plan in place. Something is definitely going to take a long time to establish and build, or it takes a lot of work, a lot of serious effort. But like I said, I got so many couple cards out. It looks like two people are willing to do that together. You also might become a workaholic or a slave to your business. Make sure that you don't become a slave regardless. I don't care if it's your own business or if you're working for another company. You still need to pull yourself away. You need to rest. You need to take care of your mental and emotional health, your spiritual health. Like, always keep that in check. Because something gets way off track here. Something becomes too excessive. Something could become too financially obsessive. Like, someone might say, I can't stop making money. I have to make money by all means necessary. Then this indicates that you'll do anything for it. Meaning you'll lie, or you'll hide some information, or whatever the case. So make sure that you just don't stay stuck in this reality here, because it's excessive behavior. It could be you know, like I said, just being so codependent on your partner that it becomes sickening. Then you can't function. If you're doing it too much, you might get a yeast infection or something. So, you know, whatever is happening here, there's a need to dial it back. You could be compromising your health. Now, if this is talking about just meeting someone, it also looks like this person could be someone that you work with or someone who is a client. And I also feel like every time, especially if you're already coupled, I feel like every time you're trying to focus on your work, your partner comes in and disturbs you, and they need your attention. They want something. And you're so spoiled. You're spoiling them. I feel like you're spoiling your partner and allowing them to take advantage or take all of your energy, where you're needing to set boundaries with them and say, look, baby, I love you, but I got to get back to work. You know, maybe your income is residual income, mine isn't. So let me focus on my work so that we can keep up a sustainable living here. So yeah, those of you that are already coupled up, I feel like your partner is going to like really be bothering you and become very needy or clingy and want your attention all the time. If this is a new relationship, I feel like something is just basically instant soul recognition. Let's say even there was a situation where you and someone broke up and stopped talking to each other, and then you get back together or you run into this person. It's going to be like they never left. It feels like you guys never broke up. You really just pick back up where you left off. It's very natural. It's effortless. It's very comfortable. And you guys are definitely, like I said, you're going to be obsessed with each other. So let me go ahead and look at a couple of things here. The only concern I would say is that with the Lovers here, indicates a lot of times a decision that needs to be made with who you want to move forward with. So that sucks for those of you that are in relationships, because I always see it as someone who intervenes your life. Now, and even though it's something that does seem like it's just physically based, it serves a higher purpose. That's the whole purpose of this person coming into your life, to help you better yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to live out an affair, but you know, it's still at least recognizing that this person is making you realize that you have something within yourself that serves a higher purpose. Yeah, it looks like some of you were undecided about a situation. Not a lot of strong signs coming out, but I will say you might have to decide between, well, not so true, Scorpio, Gemini, Capricorn, or Libra. And it's something very important. I feel like whoever comes into your life romantically or for business purpose is going to be very significant. It's definitely kind of altering the course of your life. I also feel like someone's been having anxiety or in denial about their feelings for you, or you have been in denial. And it's like there's this opportunity, or there's the time has come for you to face these issues. Something seems like an emergency, or something seems urgent. Yeah, I feel like your spirit guides and your ancestors are trying to bring something to your attention. I feel like spirits are working overtime trying to align this perfect situation, trying to orchestrate this meeting of two people. And like I said, it does not have to be romantic, but of course it does look like for the majority of you it is. But this can be, a whole business situation too, or school even. So even let's just say it's meant for you to go to some sort of university or get this certain degree because you're supposed to be the next great whatever. And so you happen to run into someone, you call yourself just out to go get some gas or something, and next thing you know, you strike up some sort of conversation with this person, and they're like, oh yeah, so and so, I actually teach at this university, and blah blah, you should apply, or I'll be sure to look at your application first, just something like that. Like something is working to align you or being orchestrated so that you can meet or have a conversation with someone because something seems urgent. I'm just looking at the medical flag on this person's throat. There's also some sort of urgency to speak. Someone's been rolling the dice too much or gambling too much, taking too many I don't want to say taking chances. It's because it's not taking some chances. I feel like someone is kind of like gambling their life away or something, or gambling away an opportunity. Now I just got that someone also needs healing. But I feel like you guys are going to help each other regardless, because the Six of Cups is the central issue. This is not just some one-sided thing. This is mutual love and support. This is a give and take situation, especially too. We have Six of Pentacles and Justice card out. So something needs to be a fair exchange, or it's like you guys are bartering. There's some sort of bartering for growth, for spiritual growth, or for love, or whatever have you. But it's a give and take situation going on. There needs to be this forgiveness, whether you need to forgive yourself for something or not, or someone else, but there's a need for forgiveness. There's a need or an opportunity to make things right. Let bygones be bygones. I'm seeing someone also stressed about any type of legalities or court decisions, and someone worried and wondering if it's going to go in their favor. I think you're just overthinking something. I do feel like something should be able to go in your favor, or you're going to get what you asked for, but it does come with consequences, or it's a heavy price to pay. I hate to say something like it's as extreme as somebody's saying, I want to sell my soul to the devil for this or that. I kind of feel like that's what that is. It feels extreme like that. You might not necessarily say something like that, but it feels extreme. Okay, let me look at Justice here. Some of you may be seeing the number 2s in frequency. See, and I said something seems like an emergency or a sense of urgency. So, and I was talking about being orchestrated, something being orchestrated. So yeah, it looks like this is outside forces stepping in and intervening, stopping you in your tracks or redirecting you, just whatever the case, because something is now an urgent matter. almost feel like someone, like spirit, is beating you on upside your head. Kind of like, do you get it now? Like, I feel like spirit is like shaking you. Like, do you understand now? Do you understand? Now, maybe, again, in a literal sense, because so many parents and kids are home together, like somebody could literally be like, do you understand? Like getting told off. But something definitely is trying to get your attention, or the time is now. Something is very urgent. See, somebody just keeps like, I don't want to listen. I don't see how the same thing coming up. The spirit judgment is just like, hey, pay attention, pay attention. And you're like, no, leave me alone. I don't want to hear spirit. I don't want to, you know, stop. I don't want to dream about this person. I don't want to blah, blah, blah. So something's definitely trying to get your attention that you're in denial about. Or this could be on the flip side. I don't even want to worry about what your person of interest is doing though, because I truly feel like you somehow can alter whatever is happening. Doesn't mean that, let's say it's a situation where like you're like, I'm not calling them, they need to call me. I feel like maybe you're needing to kind of change that perspective and just look within and figure something out within yourself. It doesn't mean that you do have to pick up the phone or reach out. But I do feel like something within you needs to be addressed. And if you could fix something within yourself, okay, that's when this person may magically appear or call. But don't worry about what they're doing or them. This is saying, well, spirit must be trying to get their attention. It probably, but don't worry about it. Don't focus on that. Focus on what spirit is trying to tell you. Because I was getting the image of, this was like really popular, I guess, I don't know if that was like the 80s or 90s. I don't know. It seemed like there was some guy that would like wear, he was like a puppeteer basically. So it was a real person, but attached to them was like on each side, like these different puppets. So when a real person lift up their legs, the puppets lift up their left leg or right leg. And you know, it was like uniform, but it was only one human in charge. But it was so magical looking how he was operating the puppets and how the puppets were mirroring their movements. So I said that because I was saying how don't worry about your person of interest. If this is about a love situation, just worry about what you are doing with them, because I feel like as you start to move or change or realize something, so will your person of interest. Just like the whole twin flame theory, I personally believe like it's not for you. Like you might feel like, I need to save my twin flame, I need to rescue them. No, you rescue yourself. The more you kind of take care of yourself and you heal, so will they. Just as a personal example, my twin flame, when we went through the whole separation period, at some point I did just have to, you know, let go, and I had to go through the dark night of the soul and just focus on me. And when I had truly healed and he came back into my life, it was kind of like magic. He just came back into my life and he had improved. Like so much had changed. He was the same person. He was still not 100% sold on the whole twin flame theory. Although sometimes he would say like, I believe we are twin flames. And then he would be like, get out of my ear with that foolishness, you know? So it was like both things. But the point is that when he did reappear, he had changed. Like I saw it and I was very proud of him. And I felt like, yes, I take responsibility because I took care of myself. And by just healing and fixing myself and having unconditional love for him, he had also changed and worked on himself. So yeah, let me look at the devil. So I feel like the devil, this person, it's an addictive quality. This person makes you feel really, really good. I feel like you feel really excited. They bring out your inner child. I feel like someone's going to smother you in attention and affection, but you might do the same for them. I also feel that this is someone being confident, but then, for whatever reason, it's making me think of someone who started off shy, and then the minute they come out their shell, you can't get them back in. They're like, you bought me out. You pulled me out of this space. Now you're stuck with me type of energy. So I kind of feel like that's what's happening. Or someone might do that to you. Like something's being, I'm seeing it as something being activated. And I also feel like this is about some sort of truth that's coming out. Now also, I see someone who does want to get you pregnant, which is weird. I did have a dream that somebody was telling me that last night. They're like, they just told me that that's what they wanted. Weird. I feel like someone has also been hiding their feelings to the point where they couldn't oppress those feelings anymore. It just made it worse. I feel like because someone was withholding their true feelings, it made things worse. So once this energy is unleashed, it consumes you. That's why I'm saying you have to set boundaries, and you still need to make sure that you keep this relationship healthy. Even let's just say it's not a relationship for some of you. Let's say this is all stuff that you're dealing with by yourself. There's something that's going on that still seems like it becomes unhealthy. Maybe because you're staying in a house, you start binge eating or binge this and binge that. Maybe even binge studying. Stop. Like, pull yourself out of that. Take a break. Go outside. Sit on the porch if you live in a warm area. Whatever the case, just kind of break away from that and pull yourself out of that energy because it is sucking you dry or it's taking too much of your time. So those are the messages. Hopefully it resonates with you guys. Feel free to leave your comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Many blessings to you.